Why don't you join us for an episode and dinner?
I don't think I like riding on buses. Actually, I think I'm pretty comfortable saying that as a fact. They sway a lot and they smell funny, and you can feel every bump in the road. I'm really not looking forward to this. He's overcritical of like the weirdest things. Plus, Emmy's legs keep making a clacking noise that draws the attention of everyone else on the bus. She's in shorts again, and she's got long socks drawn up on her prosthetics so they don't look so obviously false again. But that doesn't stop the odd look or two every time her legs bump together with an audible clunk. I shift nervously in my seat and Emmy raises an eyebrow questioningly. She doesn't seem to mind the stares. Either that or she doesn't even notice the people are staring. I'm sure she's gotten her fill of odd looks before. After a certain amount of time, I doubt she'd notice anymore. Not that she'd ever tell me if I asked. Another fact is, I'm not just uncomfortable about the bus. I can't seem to come to terms with the fact that Emmy appears to be trying to bring me closer while at the same time pushing me away. Meeting the parents is a big deal, right? Not that I haven't already met Emmy's mother, but that was just an acquaintance. Now it's going to be as Emmy's boyfriend, with everything that implies. I can feel my heart pounding in my chest, an echo of that snow-covered afternoon that feels like it was so long ago that it might as well be another life entirely. Except then, I didn't know what was going on. I also didn't have medication to help prevent things spiraling out of control. I've come a long way in terms of my physical health, and for the second time today, I feel like I'll be able to live normally now, or at least as normally as possible. Now, if only I could manage my relationship as well as I've managed my heart, I'd be in great shape.
Well, we're here.
Emmy grabs my hand as soon as we've stepped off the bus. She starts heading down the street almost immediately.
Come on, we got a couple blocks until my place.
What? Oh, okay. I follow Emmy down the street, watching her confident stride. She's setting kind of a quick pace for just a walk. I guess she's anxious to get there. So, does your mom do this sort of thing often?
Nah, not too frequently. Mom's never been much for playing hostess.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, my dad was always the one pushing her to have people over.
This sudden and unprompted reference to her father catches me off guard. And from the look on Emmy's face, I'm not sure she meant to mention him. I think I've only ever heard her talk about him once. All I remember is that Emmy's mom told me that he wasn't around anymore. Oh, your mom prefers solitude? Emmy laughs, either from relief that I didn't ask about her father, or from finding my statement actually funny.
Not at all. She's why I'm such an outgoing person, you know. She just prefers to be a guest rather than a hostess. It's less stressful that way, or so she says.
Clearly, she's never had to meet her girlfriend's mother for dinner. Emmy giggles again and speaks in a teasing tone.
Nervous, Hisao? You shouldn't be, you know. It's not that big of a deal. Just dinner at my house, that's all.
Yeah, but have you ever brought home a boyfriend before? I confess, that part of me dreads hearing the answer to this. I know very little of Emmy's past relationships. I don't even know if there were past relationships.
Yeah, Tyrone before he turned gay. But that doesn't count. No, I guess I haven't.
I took a vote of my self-esteem. I feel responsible for turning him gay. So, man.
Hey, maybe this really is kind of a big deal after all.
Oh good, now I feel twice as nervous. Though to tell the truth, I'm pretty happy to hear that I'm the first one. Maybe we've got something special after all. Bolstered... Yeah?
Yeah.
I
was just really committed to that word. Bolstered.
Man, I was gonna read it as bolstered.
Oh.
But...
All right, okay.
I was, but hey, whatever. You know what? First time. Bolstered by the new thought, I managed to calm down considerably by the time Emmy knocks on her front door.
Hey, Mom, open up. We're here.
The door swings open, and Miss Ibarazaki stands grinning at her daughter. The grin is still surprisingly similar to Emmy's. I'm never going to get used to that.
You know, people normally wait a few minutes before they start shouting at the door.
And most mothers say hello to their daughters instead of scolding them right away.
Ah, of course. Welcome home, dear. I've missed you.
Their total
They're
clash of accents is fucking
I know, it's
awesome.
Well, we've got the canon, Kay. Like, we've justified this.
Yes.
Emmy's
Her
dad.
rich Texan cowboy
Yeah.
with
marries
lots of oil marries a stunning and gorgeous French model. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now they live in Japan.
Because why the fuck not? An affectionate hug later, we're inside, and it is only then that Emmy's mom seems to remember that I'm actually here.
And hello to you, Hisao. How are you?
I'm quite well, thank you. Nice to not have school to worry about for a little bit.
Ah, yes. You finished your exams, no? That must be quite a relief for you both.
It's certainly a weight off my mind, that's for sure.
Mine too.
Oh, Jesus. It's super weird. Switching back and forth.
I think I slept well for the first time in weeks last night from relief alone.
If this news is a surprise to Emmy's mother, she doesn't show it. Still, her response betrays a note of interest.
Is that so? I'm very glad to hear that, Emmy. You know I get worried when you get all wound up about, well, exams.
Certainly, Emmy's mother knows something I don't, or rather, she doesn't know that Emmy's told me about the nightmares. It's interesting, being able to observe how Miss Ibarazaki covers for Emmy. That protective instinct to make sure that I don't know any more than Emmy's willing to tell me. I wonder if this Ibarazaki will figure out I know about the nightmares, or is she just keeping everything secret from everybody?
Yeah, it's not been as bad this year as in the past. Hisao helped me to stay focused.
Okay, I know that's not true. She even cut off contact outside of school hours during exam week. But she did see me during the day, and she told me more than once that the morning run was the only thing she looked forward to during exams. So maybe it's not that much of a lie. Either way, I hear that being around has helped even a little makes me feel a bit better. Emmy's mother raises an eyebrow at the statement. Either she doesn't believe Emmy, or she's as surprised as I am.
Well, then it appears that it's a good thing you two have become so close. I'd tell you to take good care of my daughter, Hisao, but it looks like you're already doing that. Yeah, we tried anal. And,
Yeah. In the first day of dating. Yeah.
We used Tyrone's lube. Good times.
Good times. Emmy grins at this and seems to take pride in having managed to integrate myself with her mother so easily. Actually, I'd say your daughter's been the one taking care of me. She's gotten me out and running.
Running.
Mm-hmm. Is that what you kids call it these days? I've probably been more active since meeting her than I ever was, even before.
Easy there, buddy.
Yeah, oof. I'd actually never thought of it that much, nor had I ever appreciated the humor in it. I wasn't too active before the heart attack. Pickup games of soccer don't really count since they weren't that common. So now that I know for sure that I have a weak heart, now I run every day, pushing my luck with the help of my medication. I chuckle quietly, then realize that I haven't finished my sentence. Well, before I had my heart attack and wound up at school here. It comes out so casually. There was a time that I would have thought twice about talking about what was wrong with me at all. But now it just seems silly to care, especially in the company of Emmy and her mother. If Emmy can be cavalier about her disability, then so can I. I think back to the track meet where Emmy declared herself the fastest thing on no legs. The fact of her obvious loss has never seemed to bother her, at least not in public. Being stuck in a wheelchair frustrated her, I know, but even that was something she dealt with on her own, despite my efforts to the contrary.
Emmy has a way of bringing out the more active side in people. I've never quite figured out how she does it.
Those puppy dog eyes she gets, for starters.
I'm not surprised that she managed to rope you into an exercise routine. If Rin weren't just as stubborn as she is, I'm sure that Emmy would have gotten her out and running with you too.
Oh, that reminds me. Rin says hello.
I drift to the outer edges of the conversation again as we move into the dining room to eat. It smells delicious in here, and the spread that Emmy's mom has produced is impressive.
Whoa, you've made enough to feed an army in here.
Is it too much? Well, you can always take some leftovers with you when you go.
That sounds great. I can only handle cafeteria food for so long. Something home-cooked would be a welcome change of pace.
What he said. Thanks, Mom.
The food tastes as good as it smells, and there's a lull in the conversation while we all dig in. Emmy assaults her plate with the usual amount of gusto, and I will admit that I set a pretty fast pace myself.
So, Hisao, I hear that you and my daughter have gotten rather close, no?
The urge to say something like, not really, is so strong that I open my mouth to say it, but then reassert control. We are close. There's no getting around it. I mean, Emmy brought me here, right? Or hasn't she? Fortunately, both Emmy and her mother seem to take my reaction as a sign I'm caught off guard, rather than considering saying something cruel. I suppose we have. I blame the morning runs myself.
Yeah, butt stuff too. You make it sound like a bad thing, Hisao.
Well, I for one found it a relief.
Oh, why is that?
Emmy's always been a popular girl, but never made many close friends.
This is a bit of news to me. I've always seen Emmy chatting with her classmates in the hallways, and certainly the whole track team seems to love her, but it is true that she chooses to isolate herself during lunch with Rin and me. Not exactly the sort of behavior one expects from a popular girl, after all. Then again, I've experienced her unwillingness to get close firsthand, so I can't say I'm that surprised.
I was beginning to have my doubts.
That Emmy was turning into a lesbian. You know? Emmy rolls her eyes to the ceiling and grumbles something I can't make out. Huh?
What?
What's that you just said?
Nothing. I'm not a lesbian.
Miss Ibarazaki chokes on her drink with laughter.
You've been hanging out with my boyfriend too long, Emmy.
Yeah.
My mentor. I'm going to have to talk to him about corrupting my daughter.
Somehow I don't think that would be very effective.
They're totally banging.
Oh, yes.
I learned most of it from you anyway, not the nurse. What? The face again!
God. Don't listen to her, Hisao. She's a born liar.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I don't know, Emmy. I think your mother has a point.
What? You traitor. You're supposed to take my side in this.
But your mom's boobs are just so... I mean... Yeah, but you did lie about your leg after we Ow! A kick in the shins from an unmistakable plastic foot cuts me off, but not before Miss Ibarazaki's eyebrows shoot upwards.
What about your leg?
It wasn't a big deal, that's all. I was in a wheelchair for a bit.
The last few mumbled words are quickly deciphered by Emmy's mother. I suspect she has experience with this sort of thing, and a worried frown appears on her face.
So that's why he kept dodging my calls. Oh, Emmy, I know how much you hate being in a wheelchair. No wonder you've been in such a mood lately.
Yeah, she's much happier on her feet, so to speak.
Or on her back. Well, of course. She spent more... Oh, Jesus.
Not on all fours, though. We're never doing that again.
No. You already said that like 12 times. Ugh. She spent enough time in a chair just after the accident.
She didn't get prosthetics immediately?
No, she had to finish healing up before they'd let her start the sort of therapy you've got to go through to adjust to those things. Especially since she wanted to run on them.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it sucked. Oh, did you see Rin's mural at the festival?
Emmy's sudden change of topic makes me realize belatedly that she's been fidgeting the whole time her mother and I have been talking. I should have figured on her being a little skittish when it comes to talking about the accident. even around her mother.
No, I didn't make it out to the festival, remember? Although I caught a glimpse of it at your track meet, it seemed pretty weird to me.
I think that's more or less what she was going for. She talked a lot about it being dreamlike, or trying to make it dreamlike.
Rin's art is one of those things I don't think I'll ever understand.
That's not surprising. I don't think Rin expects to be understood. She told me once that art allows people to understand stuff they wouldn't understand otherwise, but all the time she doesn't think it actually works that way.
I'm surprised that Emmy's talked about this with Rin extensively enough to actually have Rin's opinion, such as it is. Although I expect that Rin could not, if she were so inclined, say the same thing about Emmy's. Unless, of course, Emmy is purposely keeping me in the dark about everything, which is likely, but unpleasant to think about. I drift down this unpleasant train of thought for a while, losing track of the conversation.
Emmy, I've been meaning to ask.
Huh?
Are you going to visit your father this year?
From the way she says it, you'd think Emmy's mother was talking about the weather. From the way Emmy reacts, it's clearly not the weather they're talking about. She flinches, a slight jerk of the head backwards as if she's just been slapped in the face.
Aw. Can we talk about this later?
Her voice sounds brittle, strained. It looks as if she's been severely shaken by the question. It seems that Miss Ibarazaki misjudged just how close Emmy and I are. Some things, it seems, are best not conversed about with me around. Her father is one of these things. The accident that took her legs is probably another one of those things. If her reaction to the earlier conversation between her mother and myself is any indication. It doesn't take Emmy's mother long to realize she's screwed up.
Of course we can, dear. I'm sorry to bring it up. I just wanted to ask so I could make plans.
It's fine, don't worry about it.
Emmy fidgets nervously, as if embarrassed by her own reaction. I confess that her reaction is confusing. She's only just mentioned her father to me earlier today. Less than a few hours ago, even. Why does a simple question about when she'll visit her father cause such a strong reaction? Unless whatever serenity she claimed to have reached by means of our talk the previous evening has suddenly evaporated. Or it didn't help as much as she thought, or claimed.
I'll, be right back. I gotta visit the little girl's room.
Emmy gets up suddenly and leaves the table, leaving me and Mrs. Ibarazaki alone. I'm a little conflicted. Should I go after her, or should I stay? Yes, you're gonna go to the bathroom with her. Yeah. Be right back. Don't listen to any noise that might be coming out of the bathroom.
Do you need any help?
Do you require assistance? It's obvious that Emmy's departure was not based on the call of nature. Something's bothering her, and I have to know what it is. The only way to find out is to go to the source. What?
He's actually gonna... He's gonna go with her. What if she actually has to pee?
I don't know. And the source is currently pretending that she has to use the toilet. Oh my god, he is. I excuse myself politely from the table and head that way, only to catch sight of Emmy not in the bathroom, but in the kitchen just next to the living room. Emmy's left the door open, and as I approach, I can see that she's holding on to the table in an attempt to compose herself, an effort that fails as soon as I open my mouth. Doesn't look like nature's call was that urgent. Emmy jumps and glares at me.
What are you doing here? I didn't come here to be with other people.
I just wanted to help you. You look pretty rattled.
I said it was nothing, didn't I? Besides, I thought we'd established that you can't help me.
No, we've established that you're stubborn.
Look who's talking, the guy who followed me.
This is different. I want to help with whatever this is.
Funny, because I just want you to leave me alone.
But why? Why can't you just trust me?
We've been over this already, Hisao. I've got to deal with this stuff on my own.
I won't accept that. You need my help. You just won't take it. My wording seems to have been a little off.
Need? I need your help? Well, it's a good thing we met, isn't it? Because otherwise, I guess I'd just be a broken human being, wouldn't I? No, it's a damn good thing that Hisao came along to save the day, isn't it? Because God knows I can't save myself, can I? I'm just a poor, emotionally damaged girl with no legs, right?
Holy shit.
Emmy, you know, I don't think
Really? Because if you thought differently, then I don't think you'd be here saying I need your help. I've gotten pretty far in life as a normal human being without you.
So what? Nothing we've shared is important? I'm just a guy who hangs out with you?
You're my boyfriend, Hisao, not my savior.
Well, no, that much is obvious. You won't even consider that I could be a help to you, will you? You'll just bottle it up and hope that a run will solve your problems, or you'll come visit me and we'll fool around until you feel better. That's not being a healthy human being, Emmy. That's not what a relationship means.
Well, it's what it means to me right now, Hisao. I wish...
She seems to reconsider her words just then, a flicker of pain, of doubt on her face. For a moment, I think she's about to cry. But the moment passes, and now she's composed herself again. Whatever that wish was will have to go unspoken.
Look, I can't do this right now.
What? Have a serious conversation? Be open? Be honest? Give a damn about anyone besides yourself and your problems?
What do you know about my problems? Nothing. You don't know what I've been through, so don't pretend that you do.
I know you have nightmares, and I know your father's gone. What happened to him? Emmy's head jerks backwards as if I've just slapped her. That brittle quality has gotten back into her voice.
That's enough.
This is stupid. This whole conversation has just been variations on Emmy stonewalling me. What? You won't even answer that question? Fine. Keep your secrets. They can lie in the grave as far as I'm concerned. Oh,
That was the
bad
worst
word.
choice of wording.
Woo! Emmy's eyes widens in shock. When she speaks again, it's in a voice that is low. Dangerous.
Holy, look at her
Oh
face!
my lord, she will stab a bitch.
Get out of my house, Hisao.
The sudden change in her tone snaps me out of my self-righteous anger and makes me realize with a dawning horror what I've just said. Emmy, I didn't mean...
I said go, Hisao. Tell my mother that you cooked a wonderful meal, but you've forgotten a prior engagement, and get out of my house.
She's trembling now, shaking with anger or sadness or determination. Her voice is still low, controlled, almost a growl. I reach out to put my arm on her shoulder to apologize for going too far, but she jerks away from my touch.
Get out!
What can I do? I walk out of the kitchen and go to the living room, make my apology to Miss Barazaki, and let myself out.
Oh, you done fucked up,
That's
Hisao.
it. That's it. It's
I was
over.
wondering, like, what was gonna go wrong, and then she started pushing away, and then this.
It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
The morning alarm sounds and I roll over, switching it off. My eyes open blearily to stare at the ceiling. What am I going to do? Do I get out of bed, go down to the track, and pretend that nothing happened? Will let me even show up? After last night's events, I doubt it. Even supposing that she did, what would I do then? Get over this fight just to dance the same routine the next time something's bothering her? I know that I spoke hastily last evening, especially trying to use her father as leverage. But was anything I said really off the mark? She won't let me in, ever, and she'll be forced to suffer alone. Nothing I do, nothing I say is going to change that. She won't change, and she's already decided to keep me at arm's length. Can I really bring myself to go down there and see her, knowing that I'm never going to get past where I am now? You know, I'm gonna give Hisao a little bit of credit. Cause
He's right on the mark. Like, she wasn't even trying to open up, and like, really, she's not ready to be in a like trusting relationship, like a long-term relationship. Like, it seems like she's just looking for a distraction.
that's true, and I don't know who said it, but somebody mentioned that he's more invested in this relationship than she is.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and you know, he's trying to actually have a relationship of, you know, open communication and trust, while she kind of just wants that kind of casual, like
Yeah.
she's dating casually, whereas
Yeah.
he's all like he's up in there, you know, like
Well,
he's
yeah, like,
emotionally invested.
Yeah, she's got some serious or serious issues, like life issues that she needs to deal with before she gets involved in something,
I think
like
it's a
emotionally
trust-
involved in something.
Yeah, it's a trust thing.
Oh,
It's a-
totally.
She has trust issues.
Yeah, it was Yuko that said that to him.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. There you go. No, I decided. I really can't. Not today. I roll over and go back to sleep. She probably won't be there anyway. A similar mental conversation repeats itself when it comes time to go to lunch, and I eat in the cafeteria alone. I don't want to see her. The very thought makes me feel ill. That night, I go for a run. I'm solo for the first time since Emmy got sick after the track meet. Skipped seeing the nurse, just in case he asked about Emmy. I don't want to talk about her either. The next day, I do something. I do something. I do the same thing. Alarm off, stay in bed, eat alone, run alone. To fill the time that I would usually be spending with Emmy, I start reading more. It works surprisingly well until I find myself ducking into a restroom because I see her walking down the hall in between classes. If she noticed me, she didn't show it, and even though I don't suppose she ever shows anything. Well, certainly not to the girls from her class I see talking cheerfully to her, or to her fellow track members. Especially not to me. Alarm off, stay in bed. Muto and I have a lengthy talk about the possibility that string theory is plausible. I don't buy it myself. More than 4 dimensions, I can buy, but a bunch of vibrating strings at the subatomic level, that's asking a bit much. Looks like I'm not the only one to think this way too. Apparently it's not really as strong a theory as it once was. Muto says it's just because nobody has found the right way of looking at the bro data yet. Eat alone. The rooftop is deserted today. I briefly wonder where Emmy and Rin are, but shrug off the question. The important thing is that they aren't here, so I won't have to talk to them. Since I have nobody to talk to, I bring a book with me to read. The weather's nicer, if getting a little hot. Hopefully it will be cooler in the evening. A cool breeze seems to back up my theory. Run alone. It is, in fact, cooler at the track. No sign of Emmy, which is exactly the sort of thing I'm going for. I stretch out and start on my usual run, trying hard to ignore the lack of a running partner in front of me. Finding my thoughts drifting damnably to that girlish laugh, incorrigible grin, those wide and friendly eyes, her incredibly toned body. I increase the pace to clear my head, chew up the distance between me and the turns, find the speed that makes me think only of my legs and how much they burn. I glance at my watch as I round the final turn, noting that my time's gotten faster. My heart seems a little squirrely tonight, so I give myself a few extra cooldown laps just to be safe. No reason to bring this to the nurse's attention. I'll be fine. A rather Emmy-ish thought to have, I'll admit. I have to hope that eventually I'll stop thinking about her so much. Wait, did they just break up?
Yeah, they're not gonna make up after that. I'm pretty sure.
In before, like, the best makeup sex known to this game.
Yeah, but like, he's not that kind of guy.
That's true, because he's aiming. Yes, he likes the physical aspect, but he's aiming for much more.
Yeah, this guy, he just wants love.
He just wants love.
And he wants unconditional love, and he wants a nice relationship where there are no secrets. Like he just wants normal.
Is it too much to ask? Yes, it is. Yes,
it is. He just wants normal.
I finished another book before going to bed that night. I'll have to stop at the library tomorrow. I don't know why I keep the early alarm on anymore, but it wakes me up the next morning just the same. I still turn it off and go back to sleep. That afternoon, as I get ready to head to the cafeteria for another solo lunch, I've got a new book about a couple of con men in ancient Persia that I'm pretty excited about reading. I'm suddenly cornered by Misha and... I guess just Misha.
Off to eat alone again, Hee-chan? We've noticed, you know.
Oh, we?
Shi-chan and I noticed that you've been spending more time alone. She wanted me to find out why, so I told her I'd ask you.
I'm surprised she didn't ask me herself. Wait a minute.
She would have, but she wanted to get a head start on some paperwork. There's a lot of it since we're coming up to the end of the term, you know.
Why the sudden interest in my well-being anyway?
Shi-chan said it's the duty of the student council to keep track of the emotional health of its students, to allow a constituent to spiral into depression unchecked would be an unforgivable failure in the council's duties.
Everything she does say does come from Shi-chan.
Yeah, she probably just like doesn't have her own thoughts. It's just like Shi-chan in her head.
Just using her mouth, just that's it.
Yeah.
Well, that's easy then. I'm not depressed.
But you're eating alone and no one's seen you and Emmy together at all. Something happened, didn't it, Hee-chan?
Misha's voice takes on a slightly sterner tone, though somehow she keeps this familiar lilt at the end of her sentences. I purse my lips, uncertain about how to respond.
This is going to affect who we go for next.
Absolutely.
If we tell Misha, it may be Shizune next.
Maybe.
If we don't tell her, we'll probably tell Lily.
I love just start to metagame the shit out of this. Be
Yeah.
like, to be honest.
But let's think about it, because like, it's really none of Misha's business.
It's not Misha's business, but one, she and Shizune were our first friends.
They were, but
And-
they're also crazy.
They are. Well, only because we are very favored in the Lily Hanako department.
We are, but like, no, they're nuts.
We
And like,
we
all
don't
they
know,
wanted to do
but that's
was...
just it. We don't know what the argument of Lily and Shizune is about.
Yeah, but that's like the first thing they wanted you to do was like they wanted to trap you into student council. Like they weren't gonna give you a choice. And like Misha is a bit of a like Misha's going to tell Shizune.
Oh, absolutely. Whatever we tell her, she's going to tell Shizune.
Yeah.
I'm 100% down playing this because I
Okay.
wouldn't want somebody up in my business, especially if they're not like a close friend.
Yeah, and it's like the day after. Like you don't. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
it.
really none of their business.
No. We're downplaying. I'm not sure I like the idea of airing private matters to the student council. Absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing major.
Hee-chan, lying is a terrible thing to do.
She's not buying it. Okay, give her something, but not too much. We had a disagreement and I haven't resolved it yet.
Oh, why not?
Because, look, I don't need to talk about this, okay? It's not a big deal. I'm fine.
And Emmy, is she fine too, Hee-chan?
Misha's voice has taken on a decidedly dangerous edge. This is ridiculous.
Serious edge.
She's not dangerous. She's just Misha.
I don't know, okay? I haven't asked. Things are complicated right now.
What kind of a man are you? Things get a little rough and you're gonna hide from them?
Misha's sudden retort catches me completely off guard.
Shizune's actually just like hiding behind the desk, and her hands are like up above the
Yeah, just signing what she should be doing.
Shi-chan would call that a cowardly act, and she'd be right, too. You two are close, happy together, and you're just gonna roll over and die without a fight? You should be willing to fight for your girlfriend, Hisao.
She seems to have a point.
She used your full name too. She didn't call you Hee-chan. She wasn't fucking around.
It seems that Misha is channeling Shizune at the moment. It wouldn't surprise me to find out that Shizune gave her a script to follow based on my answers. Misha points an imperious arm at the classroom door.
Now you get out of the classroom and patch things up.
We've still got afternoon classes. This doesn't seem to dissuade Misha.
Then after class, you better do it, Hee-chan. It's important that you don't leave things like this.
Well, why? Misha regards me as one would regard an animal. As shit! As poop!
Didn't you care about her, Hisao? That's important, isn't it?
Huh, she's right. I do care about her. Don't I? Okay, I'll see you after class.
Great, I'll let Shi-chan know you're okay then.
The lilt returns. I guess that means that Misha isn't angry at me anymore. She waves and disappears down the hallway, and I eat my lunch. While afternoon classes draw to a close, I prepare myself for the task ahead. I have to see Emmy. Misha was at least correct about that. Leaving the question of Emmy and me an open issue won't work. At the very least, I need to apologize for what I said. I consider going to her room to find her, but she's probably still at the track. The steps out of the main building and down the path to the track make me feel like a doomed man. I have a twisting, horrible feeling in my gut that this is going to go horribly wrong, that I'm not going to accomplish anything. Technically, can't get any worse than not talking to her.
That's true.
Except for maybe driving the final nail in the coffin of whatever it was Emmy and I had. That okay, fair enough.
It's like he's talking to you.
There she is, just as I expected, running laps around the track after everyone else has gone to shower and dinner. I don't wave or even make my presence known. I just sit down on the bleachers and watch her run her laps. It takes her a few trips around the track before she notices me, after which she skids to a stop, eyes wide in surprise. Surprise is quickly masked by anger, which in turn fades behind a mask that I already know is impenetrable.
What are you doing here?
Not quite the response I'd hoped for, but at this point I don't have much of a choice. I wanted to apologize for what I said the other day.
The other day?
She laughs, a curt exclamation of disbelief.
It's been almost a week, Hisao.
Yeah, well, better late than never, right? Emmy crosses her arms and stares at me coolly as if sizing me up. Finally, she nods.
I suppose you're right. Water under the bridge then. I forgive you.
Why do I
This is
know
like way...
that this is not okay.
She's just lying through her teeth.
Is that all?
Her almost impatient question catches me so off guard that she's halfway down the track before I think to shout after her. No, wait! Emmy stops, turning and walks back to me, breathing a little heavily and looking annoyed at my interruption.
What?
Okay, I need to make this right somehow. I have to know where I stand, maybe patch things up. Can you at least sit down?
I think we're okay talking here.
Fine, sure. Look, about us. I pause, trying to think of a good way to phrase what I'm about to say. But before I can launch into an impassioned plea for giving me another chance, Emmy's already spoken.
There's no more us, Hisao.
Oh, my heart. I'm going to have a heart attack right now.
No.
Why not?
We're just not right for each other.
She delivers this outrageous statement without even looking me in the eyes. I don't believe you. We're great with one another.
Says the guy apologizing for getting thrown out of my house last week.
It was a fight. I said something really incredibly stupid, and I apologized for it.
And how many times had we already discussed the problem that started the fight? How many times had I told you that there was a set boundary that I wouldn't cross, and how many times did you keep trying to cross it?
Because your boundary is stupid.
Good comeback, Hisao.
Got him.
Yeah, these nuts.
Emmy rolls her eyes, folded her arms across her chest, and cocks her head to the side.
Do you see this, Hisao? This is why we're not right for one another.
Her voice softens a little, and she reaches out to stroke my cheek.
Oh, you're a good guy, but we're not gonna work.
With a horrible lurching feeling, I realize that she's been practicing this, maybe every day since I left her house. Even the cheek stroke seems rehearsed, like something out of a movie. She never intended to give me another chance. Hell, she probably would have been fine with never seeing me again. So that's it then. Nothing else but to say, gee, it was fun while it lasted, but so long. It actually seems to amuse Emmy far more than I wanted it to. She gives a rather morbid-sounding chuckle.
That's how I've lived my life, Hisao. You should know that by now. And it was fun.
A sad smile. She shivers slightly, and the smile vanishes.
But it's over now. It's for the best.
I want to yell, to scream at her, make her see reason. This is stupid, the whole act. That she's just afraid of me, afraid of what being close to someone means. I want to tell her that I love her, and I can't just give up on her at the drop of a hat. Except, there's no point. She's made up her mind. We're done. Fine. Emmy nods, satisfied. I want to hit something.
Good.
She brightens with a false cheeriness.
See you around, Hisao.
No, you won't. You won't even try. She shrugs as if to say, have it your way, and turns her back on me once more, quickly accelerating around the curve of the track.
Holy fuck.
I feel numb. This is it. The end of the road for us, whatever that was. Closure, at least. Emmy rounds the track again without sparing me a second glance. She's running much faster now, so I can't help but think of that first run together. I ran to catch you, to try to prove I wasn't as weak as I knew I was, but it ended badly for me, didn't it? And now, you're off running too fast for me again, and I have no choice to run after you again. But I won't. Not this time. You'd never let me catch you. It's so heart-wrenchingly dramatic. It's so sad.
Did you notice that the music was new too?
Yes.
It was like new epic music, breakup music.
New epic sad music.
Yeah.
I don't even notice walking away from the track, or walking into my room, or pulling a book out of my bag to read. Just before bed, I reset my alarm. Emmy and I have had our final encounter. We don't speak again after that.
Oh.
Don't tell me that's it! Did we just get the bad ending for Emmy? Oh my god, we got the bad ending for Emmy. I am so done. We tried so hard.
Shit.
Okay. Well, where did we... Well,
There was...
where did we go wrong? We didn't have a choice.
Fuck. Okay, pushing the issue in the T. Pushing the issue with running, maybe. No. I can't believe this. I'm laughing out of sadness right now. How could we fail so hard?
Because I want to hold you close on my own feet. I started walking to synchronize my breath with you, so neither of us will be alone. Hey mama, I might have found somebody that I really like. Well, good for you. Come see me.